On behalf of Ann Ledger, Nicole St. John, and the entire family, I welcome you to a celebration of the life of this most remarkable woman, Rowena Fay. Row was a member of the Battenkill Chorale, which I founded for almost 20 years. The Laudate Dominum from Mozart's Vespers is the piece that Row wanted to hear today. Soprano soloist Jean Marie Callahan would like to say a few words.
Row asked for this on her deathbed, and then she said, and Anne's in charge. and we went, and because Row sang this in the chorus, they have a recording, and we played the recording, and that's why we're hearing it today.
We know she's with us at every event, every wedding, every birthday, and every holiday. And, of course, every game of Shanghai Rummy that we play, which she was evil. Evil. Dirty dog, she used to say. Dirty dog. She will be forever remembered for many things, but for her love and most definitely her cackle with her laugh. It was a lovely cackle, one we heard often, most times when she was beating us at Shanghai Rummy. She would let us watch movies that our mom would not let us see. And that was fun. That was a lot of fun, actually. Sleepovers, lots of sleepovers. Snacks, sodas, everything that we weren't supposed to be having, she was all about, and it was amazing. With that, rest in peace, Row. We will miss you. Thank you.
What Andrea forgot to say was the vicious games of Pictionary that Maggie, Karen Parle, and I even got in on the tail end of it, and the Chellums, they were wicked. When they say the Row cackled, she cackled. When they say she played Shanghai, she would throw her cards if she got mad. And we used to go there and play poker with Ken, and I'll never forget the day we played the game with one card. Nobody could see it, and Ken was, I can't believe she's won on that. She doesn't have the skill. And she won, and she cackled. She would cackle. You know, when I first was going to do this, I wrote down all of these memories, all of them, and then I thought, well, hell, those are ours, those are the families, those are. The ones that really struck me was when she came up to Newski, and when she then came here. Still Point called to her. How close and how focused she was on each and every person who came to visit and thanked her. And to me, that was Row, and that was the heart of this place.
Let the light of late afternoon shine through the chunks in the barn, moving up the bales as the sun comes down. Let the crickets take up their chafing as a woman takes up her needles and her yarn. Let evening come. Let dew collect on the hoe abandoned in the long grass. Let the stars appear as the moon discloses her silver horn. Let the fox go back to its sandy den. Let the wind die down. Let the shed go black inside. Let evening come. To the bottle in the ditch, to the scoop in the oats, to the air in the lung, let evening come. Let it come as it will, and don't be afraid. God does not leave us comfortless.
In Ro's final days, Anne and Nicole sang, "I Will Not Leave You Comfortless" to her. Ro woke up enough to sing with them. I'm inviting singers from the Battenkill Chorale to gather round the keyboard, as we've done so many times, and lead everyone in this song. I will not leave you comfortless. I will not leave you alone. I am the air you breathe in. I'm the light of every star and every dawn. I am the air you breathe in. I'm the light of every star and every dawn.
Silence was Rowena's primary spiritual practice. It was rooted in her Christian faith, but enabled her to go beyond that single tradition to an all-encompassing direct experience of God. She was at peace with everyone and everything. She was a true mystic. Rowena moved in the world with openness, wisdom, and clarity that sprang out of intentional silence. Her joy was boundless. I am reminded of the words of Mother Teresa. We need to find God, and he cannot be found in noise and restlessness. God is the friend of silence. See how nature, trees, flowers, grass, grows in silence. See the stars, the moon, the sun, how they move in silence. We need silence to be able to touch souls. Well, Rowena touched many souls. She was a devoted sister to her siblings, to Nicole and Anne, and also to all the sacred life she found here at Still Point. Her dogs, the birds, deer, chipmunks, the daylilies, the woods, pond. She touched all those souls. She, along with Anne and Nicole, have created a true refuge. It is a center distinguished by radical spiritual hospitality. That hospitality offers unrestricted openness. It offers deep listening and loving hearts to visitors. Rowena lives on. She lives on in this sacred place, in her family, in her many friends, and certainly in her sisters in Christ, Nicole and Anne. The good news is, in truth, Rowena lives on.
For me, Ro was an anchor of the Battenkill Chorale famous back row sopranos and became an indispensable part of chorale life. She sometimes didn't like the music, but she always loved the people. That's what she was there for. I will never forget Ro's memorable Halloween rehearsal entrance as Anne rolled Rowena out from the elevator in a wheelchair, dressed as Bette Midler's stage persona, the divine Miss M, in a mermaid costume. Ro holds a very special place in my heart. She entered my life the day I regained my own, moving day from my first marital home when Anne brought these two women I'd never even seen before, Rowena and Nicole. When I needed just the right person to take me to the hospital to have my breasts removed, it was Row. When John and I wanted our nearest and dearest to stand with and marry us, it was Row. When my mother died, it was Row. We flew to Florida to be part of her memorial service. She was my favorite drinking buddy. I like to think there was a special bond between us, but I think that's the way everyone who knew her felt about Row.
I was on the board when Rowena and the other sisters were hired. It was one of the best decisions we ever made, I thought. My question is, there are a number of people who come to Still Point who have other than Christian views. And one of them, including mine, is that the divine could be feminine. And would you have, how would you feel about that? All of them went. So we hired her.
The reality of telling a joke with Row in presence was that I could never get through one without her foil. She always asked questions, interrupted, and what do you mean? And well, you've all experienced that. So I think we'll always remember her, particularly for that. Besides her wonderful, profound insight, and in feeling that we were all divine manifestations of God or the Supreme Being. I will never tell a joke without thinking about what would Row be saying right now.
One of the things that she said to me, which really started building my own value, was, wow, you're an interesting manifestation of the divine. And that was my God moment with Row. And she just gave me that love, that unconditional, non-judgmental, just beautiful love that is immeasurable, and you all know it too. So thank you for letting me share.
I was remembering a story about Rowena. One of the former board members couldn't be here, Laura Velez, and she wanted me to say a few words. But it reminded me of when we first came and they hired us. And after a few, we were having meetings with the board, and the board said, "What can we do for you?" Because as we got older, they wanted to make sure that we had someplace to go, we had a piece of the property or something. And so they said, "What can we do for you? What can we give you?" And Rowena said, "I want it all." This was her dream. Still Point. Her beloved Still Point was her dream.
We are celebrating everybody here as well, because we did not pull Still Point back from the brink by ourselves. Everybody here helped in some way. So we're totally grateful for everybody here, and that's why we threw the party, to bring everybody in and celebrate you as well as to celebrate ourselves. So thank you.
We are
It takes a community.
So we talked about a number of different things, and we were pretty open about what the prognosis was and the time. And I had heard from people she had a month to 2 months, and I actually talked about it. She said, "Yeah, that's what they're saying, but 3 weeks. I'm going to do 3 weeks. I don't want to do. I'm going to do 3 weeks. I'm going to do 3 weeks because I want time to say goodbye to my friends, right? But I don't want to do this a long time. This is like, so there was a sense of radical acceptance. I need 3 weeks to complete this time in this passage, and I'm ready. And I thought it's a lesson for us this is a spiritual center. This is a spiritual woman. And the gift of her approach to the end of her life was a gift. And a gift certainly to me, and I just want to share that aspect of it. Thanks.
Roberta had taken care of her physical needs, and I came down later, and I'm in the ladies' room. I hear this, hello. Well, she throws her arms out, somebody's here. And then she said, we always ask her if we can give her anything. You know, would you like anything? Would you like anything? She said, I don't know why, but I'm just craving champagne.
Towards the end, as I was visiting with Rowena, I could see that as she was really diminishing physically, but she seemed to be expanding spiritually and just becoming stronger and brighter. And it was really quite a phenomenon to see. And I'd just like to share a quote from Victor Hugo. He wrote this when he was in his 80s, and I think it says it pretty well. People say the soul is nothing but the effect of our bodily powers at work. If that were true, then why is my soul becoming brighter as my body begins to fail? Winter may be filling my heart, but an eternal spring rises in my heart. And the closer I come to the end of the journey, the more clearly I hear the immortal symphonies of eternal worlds inviting me to come. Safe journey, Rowena.
Rowena would generally bring both dogs to the Tuesday session. And I had talked to her once, and she said, well, if people don't like my dogs or don't want to be here with the dogs, they don't have to come. And so Buster and Callie were as much a part of the group as anyone was, and we loved them. You are the face of God. You're always in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of God. We wanted to end today's celebration of Rowena's life with a song that everyone can sing. There's a round from our childhood that we all know, but it takes an entirely different meaning when you think of row. Row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Merrily down the stream. Merrily down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Merrily, life is but a dream.
This was her dream. Still Point. Her beloved Still Point was her dream.
Reum, Rowena. Reum,